So this is my 1993 F250, the 7.3 IDI, and has 152,000 miles on it. So one might say she's just getting broke in, except for the paint. Paint's been broke in a while back. But we have almost no rust at all. Very, very little. I mean, you can't really see in the dark there. So let's bring you into the future and the light. We have almost no rust. I mean, really none is a closer statement. It looks quite good. Even down here, you can see we don't really have any kind of issues going on as far as rust goes. So, but the body is pretty rough. I actually have a 2006 2500 HD, and it has more rust on it. And obviously it don't have a lot either, but it has more rust on it than the Ford. We've got some quite a bit of paint imperfections. Got this piece that's broken here, and so got a lot of work to do. One of the things I'm going to do for sure is painting it. We have some air intrusion issues, which is pretty common in these. You can see the hoods, which, yeah, the hood's pretty bad. So, but we got some air intrusion issues, and gonna have to work that part out. But other than that, I think we got a good little truck. I'm excited about it. I've always loved these trucks. So this is the first one I've ever had, but my grandpa had one, brothers had one, rode in them as a kid and all that, and just always loved it. This right here, if you know, you know. The 7.3s have a distinct smell. Or is that just me? Y'all may not, maybe you don't know. I've always loved the way these trucks look. I love the way they sound. I love the way they smell. And super excited to have finally got one. Now, in terms of painting, it's really simple with these old trucks. The bare metal on them is essentially like glue, so it's super easy to paint them. All you really have to do is you just kind of scuff it like that right there, and we'll use a can of spray paint. This right here lasts forever, no issues. It's really simple. You just take your can of paint, you shake it up, and then you just kind of, just like that right there. That's it. That's all it takes. Now, before anybody strokes out too hard, I'm joking. I'm trying to give it a little bit of protection because it's going to be a little while before I get to it to paint. And so just to keep this bare metal from being exposed to the elements until I can get back to it, I won't leave it. I'll sand it all off. I know, gotcha. But I wanted to do something to give a little bit of protection to this until I can get to it. And this is what I had, so this is what I'm using. So now we are on to trying to chase down some of these fuel intrusion issues. We've got it's not totally new, but pretty new, electronic fuel pump. So that's a good move. And I can see, so I'm going to just say this first of all. This is the first diesel I've ever owned. And so any of you guys that have tips, especially if you've owned the 7.3 IDIs or 6.9, and you have tips and hey, this worked for me, I'm all ears. So I've got this line coming over. There's a little bit of a kind of a kink in there, and so I think I'm going to try to do something to see if I can't get rid of that. This line I don't believe is leaking, and I'm not in love with these clamps, but anyways, I'm going to change this one over to clear. This is one of the return lines, and from what I understand, this will kind of help me diagnose where I'm getting air coming in from. Like I said, this fuel pump here, I can see when it's running, I'm definitely getting air coming in from the supply side. And so we've got to work on that. But I just want to, while we're here, I've got some Tygon line, and so going to go ahead and replace this. I'm not sure, perhaps I should replace this as well. I've seen some do it and some say it doesn't matter. Definitely going to replace this one. And my fuel selector valve, which allows me to select which tank that I'm going to try to pull diesel from, is definitely malfunctioning. When I turn it on, it gets like a real, and this is how you can know I'm not a real mechanic, a whir sound. But anyways, it needs replaced. Got the parts, going to try to pull that out and do that today. As the one feller said, nothing to it but to do it. Alright, I had to pause my phone for a minute because I need the flashlight. I don't have a light in my shed and needed to be able to look for some clamps. I don't have any for that is the right size, but this is the setup we're going to use to try to hopefully be able to diagnose where our air intrusion issues are coming from. So for a minute, I'm going to move on to another problem, and that is the hood to cowl seal is gone, and when it rains, I'm getting water that it's trying to come in to the engine bay, and obviously that isn't ideal. And so I've got a new seal and going to try to put that in. So herein be the problem. Bring you over. There is basically no room in which to work. Finally got this one off. The tools that I have that you're supposed to get these valves off with just literally will not fit. Take my word for it. I can't show you. They literally will not fit in there, and so I'm trying to get creative because I've got to get in between this housing and that little connector and get inside to push a clip down. So far, it is doing just about everything but happening. Got another one. So let me show you. I think I figured out a way to show you part of the problem. So you can see this little piece here. It's supposed to open, go around, and then you push in and it'll release the pins or clamp or whatever that's in there. The housing is so much in the way that you literally can't get it in there. And so what I am doing, it's worked on 2 of them, is I had a piece of 1/2-inch PEX, and so I cut me a really narrow ring that can fit inside that groove, but it's not tall enough for me to get it in there and press it against the ring to release it. So then I cut me another little piece of 1/2-inch PEX that I can sit on top of it and then get something to press down on top of that. And so far that's worked on 2 of them. I guess that's what we're going to do on the rest. Four down, 2 to go. I won't make you watch it because I doubt you'll be able to see anything. A few things on this. I've had these little curved pliers for years. Basically never found a use for them, but it's kind of nice to be able to get that angle to push in on my little improvised ring system here. And one other thing I'll say is most of the videos I've seen on YouTube talk about needing to label the lines and everything to make sure you don't hook them up wrong. At least with my truck, which is a 1993 F250 with a 7.3 IDI, the hoses are different size, and the connector points are also different size. So like you'd have to, different types rather. So you'd have to try pretty hard to get them on wrong. Your return lines are smaller than your supply lines, and so yeah, I wouldn't worry about that too much. But as far as having the correct tool for the job, I wouldn't bother. So another update. Once you get to, if you do the top last, which I would definitely recommend, just got lucky in trying that, but I would recommend. Once you get the other four off, you can actually pull this down out of the rail at that point, and it's a lot easier to work on. So do your top last. Boom, baby. Got it in. Okay. So, totally different day. It's actually been several days since the last clip you just seen a few seconds ago. But I come to realize, and again, this is just like novice stuff that if you know anything about these trucks, you're probably gonna be like, duh. These trucks need two 850 cold cranking amp batteries, group 65, but they were 650 cold cranking amps, and it was turning the engine over, but very slowly. What got me looking at it was it got to where it wouldn't turn it over, and so I'm like, okay, I may need new batteries. So I go up here and I look at them, and one of them is less than a month old, and the other one is a couple years old. And so I'm like, okay. It got me researching though, and realized that both of them were undersized. And so two 850 cold cranking amp batteries now, and trying to chase down the air intrusion. We still don't have it all, but watch this. Got our wait to start light. Oh yeah. She be just a purring along. Well, she set all night long. So let's see what happens. Can we get a nice clean start? I'm pretty sure this is about the quietest 7.3 definitely that I've ever been around. She just don't make a lot of noise. Maybe we can fix that. I switched the fuel valve, and I thought maybe I had fixed it because when I push this, so it's on the front tank here, you see it's showing a quarter, and before when I would push the rear tank, it would just stay there. Now when I push the rear tank, it goes all the way up to 3/4. So I'm like, yes, fix the fuel gauge. But I know that this front tank has at least 12 gallons or so in it, and it's still showing a quarter. So haven't fixed the fuel gauge. One thing at a time, I suppose. Making another addition. Got us a camper top truck bed for the grand cost, and I mean, look at her, she's beautiful. See, there's no cracks, there's nothing, no paint fade, it totally matches, and there's no holes in it, nothing like that. But we did pay a grand total of nothing. So I think I'll fix it.